We're going to talk today about the graph. The 21st of December, I did a video on this. We're going to do an update. So hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you are new, subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a like, and obviously comment, it helps. So thank you for being with me. A lot's changed since this screen came out. Better camera, I'm still ugly. You know, 21st of December, a lot's changed. We went and skyrocketed on release. I want to explain the fundamentals of why this is important to learn. Retracements, they're important. We'll look at the charts, we'll look at everything. If you don't know what graph is, I'll explain it in basic detail. I'm not going to do a full-blown kind of bit at you because it is hyped up, it's doing very well, but it is one of the strongest DeFi fundamental projects out there. Most people know I've just invested in Reef. I've invested in Reef for the purpose that it's a Polkadot ecosystem coin similar to Graph, similar to Aave, similar to Compound, right? I feel that when that is developed fully, it will do similar sort of runs. This is now worth 2.2 billion in market cap. Aave's worth over 7 billion. I think Compound's worth over 3 or 4 billion now. Reef is tiny. So let's look at this in terms of what it is. So that being said, with all this, not financial advice, but if you like DeFi and you're looking at options to get involved, Graph has run, and it has run hard. But I'll go through a little overview of it. So it's an indexing protocol for querying data on networks such as Ethereum, powering many applications, both DeFi and further Web3 ecosystems. You could probably argue this is a bit like Google, in a way, for crypto. Has everything in one place, off you go, my friend. To date, 3,000 subgraphs have been deployed by thousands of developers such as Uniswap, Synthetics, Aragon, Aave, Balancer. You can see the picture here, it's ridiculous. It is a behemoth, but it's still new. It has been backed by Coinbase. It has been backed by multiple levels of big capital. DeFi is growing at a rapid rate. It's like a rocket right now. It's ridiculous. This is the future of crypto. Decentralized finance. It's where things are going to go. This was going to open boundaries, it's going to break boundaries, it's going to open doors, it's going to break doors, it's going to do everything, right? It really is. It's going to open so many opportunities for people to get involved in the space. Lending and borrowing is huge. Decentralization is obviously going to be the biggest front of this, essentially. And this will house everything in one place. In terms of the website, obviously you can see it's relatively straightforward. They've already got live applications. It's literally, this is one of the main projects that's just came out recently with a full-blown system that is fully working. But as you can see here, DeFi, governance, grants, philanthropy, marketplace, entertainment, social, the lot, it's all here. But I don't want to go too much and bore you with all the basics. Obviously do your own research, have a look. But if you are bullish on the world of DeFi, and you are looking at like the $40 billion that's locked up in DeFi and how that could grow and grow and grow, and you're looking at alternative systems such as Reef as an example, you know, realistically, Polkadot ecosystem is going to do the exact same thing. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's going to get more and more money and equity locked up in this world. So, shall we look at some graphs? Because I think it's important. So, just to go back a step again, this video, I did it because I liked it. You can go back and watch it. I go a bit more in detail on it. Not much, but you can see the picture. I worry for people who are looking for opportunities at the first hurdle. It doesn't always work well sometimes if you're new. Yes, if you're in on the investment side of it in ICO and you are early, maybe. But a lot of coins come out and settle down and then they go. Reef's done it, Polkadot's done it. A lot of coins have done it in the past. They do settle down. So if we're looking at what happened, so this is where I did my video, the 21st of December, literally here, right? People were like, this is going to $1 tomorrow, right? And it didn't. It didn't. It retraced quite a big aggressive amount. It really did. And you got to think, as a new time investor, and you're like, I want to get in early for once. I want to get in before the first song starts. Shit, it goes wrong, right? Be careful. So as you can see here, this top candle went all the way down. I should really change the color of that. Why is that not the same color? Bear with me, boys and girls. Let's just make this making more sense. There we go. Happy days. I'll put a background on it too. Obviously, oh God. Oh dear. Life's going wrong. There we go. Happy days. So if we're looking at simplistic terms, right? Very, very simple. And what I'm talking about here is moves that have gone wrong. We're looking here at a 70% loss from that top level. So it's quite drastic. Imagine being the first time investor in an opportunity like Graph and you've been told by all the YouTubers in the world, this is the next big thing. It may well be the next big thing, but if it dumps beforehand, it's not good. So that's always going to be a bad point. It's going to be a sticky point. It retraced 70% of its value. It went to the perfect level, so the 618 levels on the Fibonacci is perfect levels to put your orders. And we always talk, well, I feel like I'm the only YouTuber that does it these days, talk about retracements. Buy in at certain increment levels, dollar cost averaging at certain points where there is going to be some sort of interest. When you start looking at going back, and people do it all the time, they go to my videos and go, why are you saying that? Why tell people not to buy now if it moons? Well, if it moons, it moons. But ultimately, if it retraces 70%, well, where would you rather buy? At the top or at the bottom? So you can see here, I know I'm going to get comments going, but if you held on, you'd be fine. But some people don't. That's the thing. People will go, I'm down 70%. You know, wrong. So it's obviously woof, bong. So off it goes, right? If we're looking at target levels for where it could go as well, we've got, obviously, I could add further levels to this. I already have, actually. Where is it? Oh, no. Bear with me. So if I add further levels to this, so let's just say we do this, off we go, my friend. So that's it, right? Obviously the simple lines of it, chart and analysis. But we've also got levels here. I can't even see. I don't know where that's gone. Ah, wrong side. Apologies. If we're looking at where this could go in terms of long term, we've obviously had this turn this way and then found the bottom. There we go. That makes more sense now. What we've actually done is all these levels of resistance have been holding really nice, and obviously they've been moving. We've actually penetrated up towards this 2.618, so even longer in terms of the grand scheme of things. But we've got to think, why did coins do this? People will take profit very, very quickly if they've been bought early and also they've made money. You got to think, people from buying on listing or before listing would have made even more money. And you got to think, well, if they're making 10, 20x, they're going to dump it on you. That's where it gets worse. And then you've got all these big companies that essentially are buying and selling and putting their money in. They'll get a little bit of money out just to kind of cover themselves as well. So that's why this always happens. When you start looking at the likes of the BTC chart, it'll look, probably in all fairness, it'll probably look even weirder, the BTC pair. So when we start looking at this, look at that. So we've had a high level of dominance for a period of time. It retraced really neat and tidily, in my opinion, on the Bitcoin chart. And then what we've actually had is the perfect level on the 786. Absolute perfect. This actually retraced 78%, give or take, considering what that data is giving us. But when we start thinking, well, where can we go from this point? We can still go higher. Obviously, you can see you can be coming down. Bitcoin's going a little bit of a run at the minute, but we've still got levels all the way up here, so we could go even further. In terms of all this, so as analysis, it's vitally important you understand that a strong fundamental coin doesn't always transpire as good positive price action. We've seen multiple coins in the past that are great, but price action, sometimes not very good. It always hype and stuff like that will bring things to the boil. So you've got to be careful. So top tip for anyone watching this video, Graph is good. I like it a lot, but I've not invested in it. I've fundamentally been looking elsewhere. This is why I bought Reef. It's a much smaller market cap. When I talk about valuations of coins, we're looking at the DeFi space here. $2 billion it's currently worth right now as a new release. That's big. We've obviously got the likes of Cardano worth 28.2 billion now. What else have we got? Obviously Chainlink 11.2 billion. Aave 6.5 billion, boys and girls. That's ridiculous. When I first covered Aave back in 2019 when it was Lend, it was 17 million market cap. Did I buy it? No. Clown, I know. Anyways, sometimes you miss a boat. There's so many coins, and when you start thinking, well, I know I get a lot of questions recently because of my Reef investment. It's Polkadot, very, very similar sort of ilk. We never know what could happen. The DeFi space is getting massive. So when you think live products that are out on Graph, when you look at the fundamentals of DeFi, when you look at how it's getting more popular, can you buy this? Well, let's have a little look in terms of potential levels. So if we're thinking on the BTC chart, looking at the start of this run, and we are waiting for this to turn around. Essentially, if we're looking on the weekly time frame here, we've got to wait for something to close. But if Bitcoin goes rampant, this will pull back. However, I'm more concerned about the USD pair. The reason why I say that is because if BTC does retrace, you're going to get in anyways at some point. It will retrace, everything pulls back. But when you think, if the dominance of Bitcoin drops, and obviously altcoins still thrive, this chart will keep going up. Your BTC growth will continue to happen. When you look at the obvious in terms of USD here, which is kind of important as well at some points, you got to think, well, if this turns around, you're going to get some really interesting order levels. So the first order level you should be people will be looking at buying is, you got to think 618 levels in and around that previous level. 83 cents, you never know. If Bitcoin takes a tumble, it could well happen. But coins will always go up, they'll always go down. And you got to think, you got to be logical. If you're watching this video and you're thinking, I've missed the boat, well, just keep an eye on it. Even if you're setting price alerts or like you're looking at certain areas, as long as you're getting a discount and you're thinking long term here, it's better off to spread your bags all over the place in terms of lower down the spectrum than actually just going, boom, I'm going to buy, ooh, because people do get absolutely battered by these kind of moves and these fluctuations. I've already had people ask me this morning, do I buy this? What do I do? Well, if you're buying a 700% pump in it's not even 30 days. Is it 30 days? 26 days. That's a ridiculous move. That's ridiculous, right? People are going to buy this at the tops. You got to be careful. So wait for it to turn around. Wait until that closed candle is published. And then guess what? Look at buying at a certain place. If you start laddering in orders here, just try and dollar cost average in slowly. Nothing's going to go to the moon tomorrow. Yes, 26 days, it will probably argue that. But when you start seeing this interest, people will take profits and people want to buy in, and then it'll go again. And it'll continue that cycle, up, down, impulse, pullback, impulse, pullback. So, there we go. It's good to see Reef going well. Anyways, enjoy. I hope you liked this video. It's a very, very solid project. A lot of high hopes for it. Don't actually hold any of it, but I'm hoping it does well.